Hello and welcome to Chabot News for Thursday, November 6, 2025. My name is Lala D, and today we will be covering the latest on SNAP benefits. Bruce will tell us about the latest campus construction. We'll have a short Halloween wrap-up, and Enrique will have this week's top 5. All that and more coming up in today's edition of Chabot News. The Senate returned to Capitol Hill Monday, but Republicans and Democrats appear no closer to resolving their shutdown stalemate. Despite that, a new development for approximately 42 million low-income Americans who rely on food stamps through the federally funded Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP, Cheryl Hubbard, has more details on the relief.
Facing a Monday deadline from a federal judge in Rhode Island, the Trump administration said it will fund only half of November SNAP benefits. But food stamp recipients will not see payments immediately.
I have to decide whether to put gas in my car or buy something to eat.
It's scary. I'm a mom. You know, all of our food goes to our kid first and then we eat.
I just kind of have to think about making sure to make it stretch as long as we can.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture had said it would not use its $5.3 billion contingency fund to cover SNAP benefits. But 2 federal judges ordered the USDA to use emergency funds to partially cover November benefits for recipients. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said Sunday full benefits can be restored if Democrats drop demands for an extension of federal health care subsidies and vote to pass the GOP funding bill to end the government shutdown.
Democrats are in the middle of a civil war, and they should just open the government.
As the U.S. government shutdown approaches record length, some Democrats argue President Trump and Republicans are intentionally withholding food benefits for political reasons.
All Republicans care about is the opinion of one man, the puppet master of the Republican Party, Donald J. Trump. They don't care about anything else. How else can you explain the fact that they are weaponizing hunger?
I'm Cheryl Hubbard reporting.
In court papers filed Monday, the administration said it decided against pulling money from other sources that would provide full SNAP benefits for November. The U.S. Department of Agriculture said it will tap $4.65 billion from its contingency fund. Those funds will be obligated to cover 50% of current allotments for eligible households. Nearly 5 million food stamp recipients will not receive any benefits in November under the plan the Trump administration issued Tuesday to comply with a court order. The Department of Agriculture said Monday that it would issue partial benefits this month by tapping into the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program's contingency fund, after 2 judges said the agency was required to do so. Some families receiving assistance make too much money to receive the partial benefits, according to new analysis. The courts also gave the USDA the option of shifting other money to SNAP to enable it to pay full benefits in November, but the agency declined, citing risks to other nutrition programs. We sent our reporter Bruce Malloy out to ask the students if they have been impacted by SNAP. Bruce?
I'm Bruce Malloy for Chabot TV. I went to Chabot College campus and asked people if they or anyone they knew had been impacted by the threats to SNAP.
There's a couple people that impacted by that, that lost their job. And I've been working at Chabot College for about more than a year now, and honestly, I'm scared that I might be next or anyone that close to me. Obviously they're my friends too, and I'm scared what if they're next,
Yes, absolutely. A lot of relatives and friends, including myself, are impacted directly by the cut of the SNAP food stamps. A lot of families are impacted by this. Is very unfortunate.
I personally am not affected by SNAP being shut off. I was actually going to apply through CalFresh at the Student Hub, and then all of this went down. So I actually didn't get my application in before the benefits got cut. But working in the student store, you see a lot of people coming in, getting student aid, and utilizing the free services that we do offer because these benefits have been cut.
Yes, I do know people that have been impacted by the SNAP benefits, and unfortunately, it sucks. I feel like our children doesn't deserve to be going through this, and but I'm also blessed and thankful because there's nonprofits or businesses that are looking out for SNAP recipients, and as a community, I feel like we can come together and overcome this.
I know a lot of people who have been impacted by, the SNAP benefits and the government shutdown, including myself. I recently had to move, and I was going to apply, and now it looks like there's no end to this. And also, I have disabled family members that, already live on Section 8 and Social Security and things like that are being impacted. And this is absolutely devastating because they don't have a way to get an income, and they deserve food and wellness.
The Student Health and Wellbeing Advisory provides students the opportunity to share their feedback, ideas, and experiences to help improve health, wellness, and mental health programming at Chabot College. If you're interested, scan the QR code and submit the form.
Thanks, Bruce. Let's hope the government shutdown ends soon. 42 million people in America have not received their SNAP benefits due to a political battle between the Republicans and the Democrats. One person who understands this is Representative Jahana Hayes, who was once on SNAP herself. Let's hear the Connecticut representative.
But I'm not surprised. To your point, every time we have had to negotiate, whether it was the Farm Bill or the debt ceiling increase or even future budgets, SNAP was something that was always a leverage point for the Republicans in the Congress. It's a program they always wanted to cut. So I'm not surprised that the president does not want to release these funds, that the USDA Secretary Rollins doesn't want to do that. When this administration just put forth a bill in July, the one big beautiful bill that was voted out, that cut SNAP, the largest cut in history, by $178 billion, increased work requirements, put additional burdens on the state. All of those things that they've been trying to attack for as long as I've been in Congress.
Thanks, Representative Hayes. 2 U.S. court judges have ordered the president to release emergency funds, but President Trump will not release the funds until Congress is back in session. What does this mean? A hungry America. It is the most significant case involving the U.S. economy and the wallets of American consumers. To reach the U.S. Supreme Court in years, the justices hearing arguments over President Donald Trump's emergency tariffs. Karen Kafu is in Washington with what it means for your money.
The fate of President Donald Trump's so-called Liberation Day tariffs on the line at the U.S. Supreme Court. And the White House argument facing some skepticism from conservative justices like Amy Coney Barrett.
Can you point to any other place in the code or any other time in history where that phrase, together regulate importation, has been used to confer tariff-imposing authority?
The Trump White House has leaned on a 1970s-era emergency law to impose duties on dozens of countries because, they argue, the law allows a president to, quote, regulate importation during emergencies. And it's that term that's at the crux of the debate, whether regulate permits tariffs. Liberal Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson countering that the law was designed to put a check on presidential power, not expand it.
It's pretty clear that Congress was trying to constrain the emergency powers of the president.
Small and medium-sized businesses who brought the case argue the law doesn't explicitly use the words tariffs or duties. And affected businesses said Wednesday the costs and the uncertainty have been untenable.
We started in my kitchen and expanded to a food truck, and last year opened a shop inside our local VA hospital. But after years of growth, my business has ground to a halt because tariffs are driving up my costs.
Tariffs trickle down to the people, and they are crushing us.
Trump's top appellate attorney has warned that a ruling against the tariffs will have catastrophic consequences for the U.S. economy. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
The Supreme Court weighs the limits of presidential power and what that could mean for the price of everyday goods. In international news, Israel says the ceasefire is back on. After launching a wave of strikes on Gaza overnight, Palestinian officials calling the strikes the deadliest day since the truce began. More than 100 people were killed, including dozens of children. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he approved the strikes because Hamas had killed an Israeli soldier and allegedly staged the discovery of a deceased hostage. Hamas denied those claims. CNN's Jeremy Diamond has the latest and a warning. There are graphic and distressing images in his report.
Gaza's morgues are full once again, filled with the sights and sounds of mourning, with the bodies of children who had no say in their deaths, and with scenes like this of one child bidding farewell to another. This girl says her cousins, uncle, and aunts were all killed in an Israeli strike. God is sufficient for us, she says, but it is all just too much to bear. They were bombed inside the tent, this man says, lying beside his great-grandchild's body. Innocent ones, children. Crawling over their bodies, he has come to kiss them, to say goodbye one by one. Painful moments made that much worse by the timing. Killed during a ceasefire that was meant to end the carnage. There was no ceasefire at all, he says. They keep making excuses all along the way while they're striking. This is all a lie. It is all lies. Those children were killed when Israel struck this tent encampment in central Gaza overnight. They are among more than 100 people Israel killed across Gaza, nearly half of whom were children, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. The single deadliest day since the ceasefire went into effect. What did this one do? Is this a rocket, for example? This woman asks. It's a bottle. He was only 1 year old. He didn't even start to walk. Israel says it targeted more than 30 Hamas militants, launching strikes after accusing Hamas of killing an Israeli soldier in southern Gaza on Tuesday. The Israeli military also published this video, which appears to show Hamas militants staging the recovery of the remains of a deceased hostage, violating the deal, according to Israel. Gaza civilians are once again paying the highest price, as Israel claims it is enforcing the ceasefire. The wounded children being treated at this Gaza hospital played no part in any alleged violation of the deal. Nor did this baby, whose body is cradled one last time, before joining several others to be buried. All victims during a ceasefire that is supposedly back in force. Jeremy Diamond, CNN, Tel Aviv.
The ceasefire is back on, but only after the deadliest night of strikes since the truce began. Both sides are blaming each other as civilians bear the cost. Hurricane Melissa is now headed for Bermuda as a Category 2 storm. Even though a landfall is not expected, the island could feel strong winds and rain in the coming hours. This as recovery efforts are underway in the Caribbean, after Melissa unleashed a path of death and destruction over several days. CNN meteorologist Derek Van Dam is in western Jamaica and has this report.
It's a race against time. It's been more than 2 days since Hurricane Melissa made landfall, and every hour that passes, the desperation for critical supplies increases, especially for the hard-hit communities of Black River in the St. Elizabeth Parish of western Jamaica. This heat is absolutely brutal, and without direct access to that city, it is going to be very challenging for the people of Black River and even much of western Jamaica to get the critical infrastructure that they so desperately need. Yesterday, our team attempted to go one particular road that was too littered with debris. We had to turn around, so now we are at a junction getting intel from some of the local police that potentially we can go this way and get closer to Black River, but we have heard that one of the main roads or main bridges there has been washed out. So it could be very challenging, not only for the people on the ground, but getting the aid that is so desperately needed in that area. I'm CNN meteorologist Derek Van Dam on our way to Black River in Jamaica.
Western Jamaica is cut off and running out of time. With roads washed out and supplies scarce, rescuers face mounting challenges reaching the hardest hit communities. Now we go over to Enrique with this week's top 5.
Hello everybody, I'm Enrique Pena, and today I'll be going over my top 5 Mega Evolutions from the Pokemon franchise. In case you don't know what a Mega Evolved Pokemon is, to keep it short, it is a Pokemon capable of evolving past their limits for a short period of time. Up first on this list is Mega Houndoom. I love this design for amplifying the Hellhound aspect of this Pokemon and making it look better than it already did. At the number 4 spot, we have Mega Scizor. Mega Scizor makes a strong impression on me for going more on the robot part of Scizzor's design, and giving it sharper claws is just so nice. At the number 3 spot, we have Mega Tyranitar. I already think Tyranitar is cool as it is, but giving it spikes was something I didn't know I needed. I love that they put more attention on the tail, as I think it is pretty unnoticed part of the original design. At the number 2 spot, we have Mega Mewtwo Y. Mega Mewtwo Y is such a unique take on Mewtwo and just gives a very different and amazing design for what it is. This design just has so much good going on for it, I can't put it into words. At the number 1 spot, we have Mega Ampharos. This Pokemon was already one of my favorite in the franchise, and this Mega Evolution makes me proud to be a fan because this design is simply gorgeous. That is my top 5 Mega Evolutions. Now back to you, Mikhail.
Thanks, Enrique. ChatGPT is used a lot by students to try and complete their homework quickly, but using it to try and pass the bar exam? Kim Kardashian says she and ChatGPT are toxic friends. During an interview with Kardashian's All's Fair co-star Teyana Taylor, Kardashian reveals she used the AI chatbot to study for the California bar exam, and she blames it for failing. Kardashian says she will get mad and I'll yell at it. Kim K calling ChatGPT a toxic friend might be the first case where both the student and the study partner plead not guilty. She says the chatbot's advice didn't pass the test, proving the road to becoming a lawyer still takes more than just AI. After decades of hosting generations of gladiators, Chabot College is turning the page. The groundbreaking of a brand new football and track complex occurred on October 21st, 2025. It will redefine the campus experience in all current and future Chabot students. Chabot TV's own Bruce Malloy covered the event.
The project for Chabot College's new $21 million football and track complex was held on 21 October 2025. In attendance was the football and track teams, as well as the Chabot College cheerleading team. Dr. Jamal Cooks welcomed all the attendees.
Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Dr. Jamal Cooks, and I have the distinct honor of serving as Chabot College's 10th president. On behalf of Chabot College, I would like to welcome you to the football stadium and track renovation groundbreaking. Yeah, we can clap for that. This is an exciting project to see get underway.
The chancellor for Chabot Las Positas district also addressed the crowd.
And today's groundbreaking is much more than about new football field, track, sorry President Cooks, lights or stadium. Really it's about creating a culture, a vibrant culture and that is welcoming and inclusive, and space that really reflects our investment in our students for generations to come.
The project is expected to be near complete by the end of 2025, with the final completion in 2026. I asked Chabot President Dr. Cooks how Chabot will benefit from the new construction.
I think that new facilities gets everyone excited, and then if people get excited, then they want to attend the school. Once they attend the school, they want to participate in sports and they want to support our sports teams. And so I'm really excited about what the new stadium is going to bring, not only for our campus and the student experience, but also for the local community. With a new facility in the area and being one of the newer, innovative spaces, I also think that the community will want to come for soccer, football, and track and field events from across the Bay Area.
Not only is the football team excited, but so is the track team. I asked head coach Dooney Jones and coach Kyle Robinson what they were excited about.
The new track, becomes compliant with NCAA requirements, 3C2A requirements. I believe the last time that it had a renovation to it or a resurfacing was in 2001. So it was long overdue.
I guess we were hoping to get some more track meets here, and sponsor some more meets here, USA Track and Field if we can over the summer, and provide a little bit more income for the program.
Once finished, the new football and track field will not only be a benefit for the Chabot College athletes, but all students will be able to use the field and facilities. This new facility will be a great benefit to all gladiators. I'm Bruce Malloy, reporting for Chabot TV.
At Chabot College, it's the dawn of a new sports era, one built on teamwork, perseverance, and pride in the gold and black. Halloween spirit took over Union City October 31st, where families, friends, and even pets came out for a festive evening at Birdhouse Beer Garden. Our reporter Alan Sampson has the story.
It was a lively scene at Birdhouse Beer Garden in Union City, a Halloween celebration that brought out people of all ages and their furry friends too. From costumes to cold brews, laughter filled the air as the community came together for an evening of fun, hosted by Birdhouse and SF Collective.
Today we are having a Halloween event. We have DJ JU, DJ View Correct, DJ Mark Maiden, and DJ MC Preach in here DJing in the beer garden tonight.
The event ran from 4 to 8 p.m., featuring food, craft beer, and collaboration pop-ups from SF Collective, such as Ubebe, Napita Shop, Bay City Bakes, Soul Sis, and Cape Zones Art.
Literally these curated small events that we do to highlight our small business vendors. And we've been doing this for a year.
And while the costumes turned heads, it was the sense of togetherness that stole the show, proving Halloween can be just as much about connection as it is about candy. I am Alan Sampson, reporting for Chabot TV.
From pets and costumes to pints in hand, Birdhouse Beer Garden's Halloween event was a festive reminder that fun and community spirit are always on tap. Once Halloween is over, it is time to celebrate Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. It's a deeply cherished Mexican holiday that's becoming increasingly popular in the U.S. It honors the memories of loved ones who have passed and welcomes their spirit to visit. Family members usually set up ofrendas or altars for their deceased family members. The altars are typically decorated with colorful marigold flowers, candles, and favorite foods and drinks of the dead. Instead of mourning, stories are told and sometimes music is played, almost resembling a party. That's all for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff in the Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/Chabot TV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 on Comcast for more Chabot TV.